Welcome to Tactical Talk. This is An Khan. Today, the topic of our show is answering some misconceptions regarding the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. Today, the guest of our show is Yasir Masood. He is a scholar on the subject of Sino-Pak relations and also the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. He's also the head of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor desk at Tactical Talk Network. Welcome to our show, Yasir. This is An Khan. It is a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much, Zan.
I'd like to get to the first question. Why is CPEC glorified? Why do experts attribute slogans to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor like the game changer, or as I like to call it, the next big thing? And also tell us, when did CPEC start? When was it initiated? Tell us a little more about these two questions.
Well, first of all, thank you, Zan Khan, for having me on the show. It's a great matter of pleasure and honor for me to be with you. When we talk about CPEC, I think it is important to understand for the common masses about the reality of CPEC. When the idea was conceived in 2013, and at that time, Pakistan was going through a very critical phase of its history. For example, we were confronted with multiple issues like we had acute energy shortfall, and then because of that, our industry was relocating. Not only that, the security situation like extremism, terrorism, and militancy was quite an issue at that time. So when we talk about these issues, it is also important to understand that about energy, it is said that when energy goes, the economy goes higher. So because of energy shortfalls, what was happening? There was no economic activity in Pakistan. As I mentioned, that industry was relocating because our local entrepreneurs, they were relocating to the neighboring countries, if we recall, like India, like Bangladesh, like other African countries for that matter. So the economic activity was completely choked out. And there was no country under the sun which was actually trying to or stepping up invest in Pakistan. Why we glorify CPEC that much? Because China has invested at a time, because Pakistan was going through a very critical phase of its history, and second, it was direly needed for Pakistan's economy. And that is why we have attached a number of slogans to the concept of CPEC, because it came as a blessing. And it came at a very right time when no other country was investing in Pakistan. So Chinese government and Chinese entrepreneurs have got the vote of confidence. They won this vote of confidence from the government of Pakistan and also from the people of Pakistan. Over the years, these kind of slogans, like as we call it, CPEC as a linchpin of Belt and Road Initiative, or a crown of Belt and Road Initiative. All these slogans matter much, not only to Pakistan, but also to the Chinese side as well.
Okay, I'd like to get to a very important question. Which countries are against the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor? And also, what are the reasons behind their disliking this mega project?
Well, Zan, it's a very important question. Since the idea was conceived in 2013 about CPEC, there are a lot of opposition. And this opposition is actually, we can bifurcate it in two ways. One is internal opposition, one is external opposition. But even then, this internal opposition has a strong bondage with the external one. Since I'm working with the CPEC official portfolio for the last 3 years or so, I have keenly observed this kind of opposition of CPEC. In fact, one of the important mandate of our think tank is to bring the reality of CPEC in front of the masses. Actually, when we see it through the prism of geopolitics or geoeconomics or geostrategic, it is important to understand that basically China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a geoeconomic project. But for some reason, the opposers or the disparagers of CPAC have pushed it to the concept or tried to manipulate the concept and named it or labeled it as a geopolitical or a geostrategic concept. Mainly, there are two countries which we have seen, which we have observed and witnessed at the same time. They are opposing CPAC. One is India, and the other one is United States of America, and both have separate rationale or reasons of opposing CPAC. Let me start with India first. That why India is opposing CPAC and how United States of America is anti-CPAC. Actually, when it comes to geopolitics or geostrategic realm, it is also important to understand that it's India is opposing CPAC because of number of factors. One, if we see that in the previous government of Modi's time, they have actually initiated a kind of concept, a theory of isolationism against Pakistan, where India wanted to isolate Pakistan diplomatically and economically. CPAC came as a harbinger of change to Pakistan. One, India is opposing CPAC because of the huge importance of Gwadar, because as we know, as a matter of fact, that the geostrategic location of Gwadar is very important. And that's where it is going to outnumber and all the ports which are existing in India because of its geostrategic location. One, it is because of the Gwadar. The second is India wants to tries to be a fake hegemon in the region, and that is why they perceive CPAC as a concept which is going to give a big boost to Pakistan's economy. Once CPAC give leverage to Pakistan's economic accentuation, then Pakistan will have, its importance internationally because of better geoeconomic and because of better geostrategic and geopolitical positioning. And that is why India is intimidated that once Pakistan's have a better international leverage, then Pakistan will talk about Kashmir, then Pakistan can undo all those negative, designs which are emanating from India. So by all means, these are the factors by which India is opposing CPAC. Let me mention here that it is any country's right to pursue its national interest, be it India or Pakistan or any other country for that matter. So CPAC, we call it as a game changer. We believe that it is going to change the destiny of Pakistan. So that is why we follow it. That is why we have all the positivities attached to CPAC. Now we are following it because this is our national interest. Whatever the national interest of India is, but it should not be at the detriment of defaming any other project, especially like an economic project. This is a world of multipolar world order where lots of states, they are actually putting their efforts together so that they can have economic progress in the region. But because of CPAC, we have seen that India is not only opposing CPAC, but becoming a regional thorn for the regional progress and prosperity. Now, it is also important to understand that why United States of America is opposing CPAC. One, they have a very strategic bond with India at the moment. They have soaring relations, which is absolutely fine. But the problem gets worsened because the United States of America is giving enough leverage to India, to counter the Chinese ambitions and the Chinese designs. The Chinese designs are actually based on economic progress. And that is why, because of this strong strategic bond with India, United States of America is opposing CPAC because they see Chinese as a competitor, as a global competitor, and then giving India a much leverage to oppose CPAC. United States of America, when we call that it is opposing CPAC, it is actually opposing Belt and Road Initiative as well at the global canvas. So these are the reasons that what we have witnessed over the years, that these two, India is a regional hegemon, is opposing CPAC, and United States of America is a global hegemon. They are opposing CPAC as well.
Okay, I want to ask my favorite question, and we can do a whole show on this question, the topic related to this question. But I'd like you to briefly answer this. What's this whole narrative regarding debt trap that some critics of the CPEC like to associate CPEC by debt trap? What is this narrative about?
Well, then it's a very important question and a pertinent one, because we have seen since the inception of Belt and Road Initiative, simultaneously we have observed that this new kind of a term has been coined and attached with the concept of Belt and Road Initiative. And same goes for CPAC, and same goes for any other project which has been initiated and any other part regarding under the ambit of Belt and Road Initiative. It is important